Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Proudest Moment podcast.
I hate Mikey so much. I hate Mikey so much. He knows my intro, motherfucker. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Bobby here with the Writer's Block podcast. Back with another episode. This one's brought to you by the Comedy Zone here in Jax once again. I got a special guest in the building. Let me get some air horns. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Round of applause, air horns. You can't hear it because you're not wearing headphones. The crowd going crazy right now. All right, I got the beautiful, funny, talented, and I got to say funny once again because god dang it, I mean it. This weekend with David A Arnold was absolutely hilarious. In the building with me, I got the lovely feature, brought the house down, all 5 shows. Miss Jenn Weeks is here, man. Jenn, hello.
Hi.
Jenn, how are you doing? What's going on?
I am amazing, man.
Thank you for doing the show. I appreciate you doing the podcast.
Thank you for asking me. Oh, I asked you.
So but the thing is, you're looking at me. If you were looking,
right?
You know,
I was like, why do I keep
talking to him? I'm sorry. It's real weird. Like
I'm not ready. Okay.
I went on. I did River City Live, like promoting some of the shows, and I didn't know that I was supposed to look at the TV and not the man in the studio. So I'm just looking at him my whole segment. When I'm watching it back on TV, I'm just at a side profile.
Why?
Yeah, we can look at Kiwi. Kiwi is over there too.
Hey, girl.
Jenn Weeks. All right, I posted her on my story. I've been telling y'all about it. Literally watching your set. First of all, Thursday night was when I knew. I was like, no, this is one of the funniest comedians I've ever seen working here. Like, Jenn, talk to me about how you feel about the weekend. You featured for David A Arnold. What was that like? And you know, how are you feeling today?
I am still on a high. Do you understand? It was one of the dopest weekends.
Really? Wow, how so?
It was, oh my God. First of all, I absolutely love him. I'd heard of him before, and then I saw Fat Ballerina, his special on Netflix.
Yes.
And I was just hooked. So, you know, I'm following him on Instagram. I'm all in with him and his family. You know, it ain't for the weak. I'm all in.
Yeah.
So when I saw he's going to be here, I was like, OMG. So I reached out to Comedy Zone Corporate.
Nice.
I was like, hey, do y'all need a feature for the weekend? Let me know.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll let you know Monday. He hit me up like, you got anything to do? Nope. Like, I'm so ready.
I don't have anything going on at all.
Absolutely. So, you know, I was a little nervous because you never know. You know, it's these people that you not so much idolize, but really, really like, and then you meet them in person and be like, ugh.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those experiences.
So cool. He was great. Cool. He was amazing. And one of the things I loved watching him as he performed, watching the audience respond, like, because he brought them into his world. Mm-hmm. So I'm in the back like, okay. Yeah. So I need to just look at my life and find the funny.
It was really different. Like he wasn't just going up and like doing his material, man. Everybody was in on it, and they were logged in for sure. Absolutely.
One of my friends came and she was like, wait, does he know my life? Wait. And my husband talked to him like, she was like, oh my God. Like, it was so dope.
That's great. Really I can't believe that we're 3 minutes in. I forgot to introduce. We also got Mikey B.
Hey, what's going on?
Y'all heard his voice first, so I usually assume people know who's who because I see my friends so often. Right. Y'all know Mikey B. He's been around the Writer's Block for a little bit.
Hi, how's it going?
And we got Kivia over there.
Hi, I'm behind the camera.
What's up, Kivia? Kivia works here at the Comedy Zone, and that's actually how we got acquainted, and I would say acquainted. We're not friends yet. She got to earn her. No, I'm kidding. Look at her face. No, it's fine.
Likewise.
But yeah, Mikey B came to the show with me last night, and we got to watch you. And man, like me and Mikey were literally just like cracking our ass up, man. It was funny as hell. You have been working comedy for how long?
12 years, 10 years active.
Nice. I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
I had to give you the air horns. All right. I had
hearing it through the gamer headset's one other thing.
12 years. Okay, so what made you start comedy? We have to, obviously bring it back.
It was out of nowhere. So I literally, and when I think about it, it seems like it was so backwards, but everybody's journey is different.
Yes.
So the church I was going to at the time, we took a women's trip to Savannah. We're coming back on this charter bus. It was the middle of summer. The air breaks in the bus, so it is hotter than it is in here. But anyway, so me and another chick are sitting in the back we were just sitting on the back of the bus, and me and her were talking about being single and different dudes who would try to date us and stuff like that. And women were laughing, and this lady came to me and was like, I have a friend who's a comedian, and he's going to put you on his show. And I was like, yo, whatever. But I had done little stuff at church, like a little character they had come up with and they wanted me to do. But I never, ever. I remember hearing Steve Harvey say, like, being a comedian, it's work. And when he said that, in my mind, I was like, I got a job. So I never, like, that was it. That was the whole, in my mind, I'm going to be a comedian. When he said it's work, I was like, oh, no, I got a 9 to 5.
And this was 2022 now. So that's what, 2010? 2010?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 2010.
So, long story short, she calls me, my friends want to meet you, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right. So I'm talked to this guy. He says, come to my house. We're going to have a meeting with the comedians. We get there. He has a spotlight in his living room. All of a sudden, he cuts it on and says, come into the stage. And I was like, you've been
Oh, my God.
He called another guy. So in my mind, I'm like getting together stuff like, what am I going to say?
Yeah.
And I never knew what was a joke. I just was like, let me say something that I've said and people have laughed at.
Yeah.
So when he called me up, I did that. Long story short, I was supposed to do 5 minutes, my first show ever.
Yeah.
I switched with the guy who had been doing it for like 9 years, who was supposed to have 15 minutes, and I did the 15-minute spot, my very first show. So I did that show, and I didn't do jack. I was like, okay, check this off the bucket list. I didn't do jack until January of 2022.
So
2012.
that show went, like, they were laughing?
Oh, yeah. It went really good.
Okay.
It went really, really good. So that was the start.
2010?
Yeah.
Okay, so, like, when did you hit a point where you're like, oh, like, it's different than just what that was? You said you came back in 2012. Is that where you learned that, like, you gotta, be active and in it more?
So again, let me tell you, so out of order, right? That was my first show. Had never done an open mic or anything. I didn't do anything for another year and a half, but I kept getting ideas and so I wrote everything down. I could see.
Wow.
I was at work and I could see the stage, so I knew it was my church. Like, I could see what my show looked like. It was called Therapy Session. Like, I could see it with, like, me looking like I was in a straitjacket and all that, this white walls. Like, that's what the flyer was and everything. I could see it, and these jokes just kept coming to me, so I wrote everything down. My second show was a full show that I did, like a 45-minute set.
Wow.
Had never done an open mic.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about that.
That's wild.
And then I end up looking online, and I saw Hope Flood was doing a females in comedy convention. It's called the Comics Rock Convention now, but the first one she did was in 2012. Okay. And it was in LA, and I signed up for it and booked a ticket. Had never flew to LA, didn't know nobody.
Yeah, I still haven't been on a plane.
Really?
Yeah, no, never.
Wow. We gotta get you on a plane.
Take me on tour. You don't want up here going crazy.
You gotta get flued out. But and I went there and just listening to them learn open mic. I was like, oh. So after I'd done my second show, and one that I put on myself, I did my first open mic in LA. When I went for the I was like, this is so out of order. So then I kind of learned, okay, I need to, So that's why I kind of learned this stuff. But honestly, I hate open mic.
Yeah. Me and Mikey actively visit like 3 to 4 of them a week. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy that you were talking about like your second show doing 45. I'm doing 20 and I'm sweating, man. I'm trying to figure out, like, I don't know. I think my issue is like I'm trying to put the perfect thing together that I want to present to the world. Like, I'm at a stage where I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to put out to get people to come watch me, but I also don't want to put out my best jokes that I've been working on forever. Yeah.
That's the play around. What's a crazy premise versus like, ooh, this funny story that I got. But then like some days you tell a story and not everybody's on board for stories. They want like, what do you think about overpopulation? It's like, cannibalism? I don't know. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. So just so out of order. It was so out of order. And I did the 45 minutes now. Honestly, if I look back at it, I'll probably be like, this was trash. But it was at my church. Everybody knew me.
Was so most clean?
People was there. Yeah, I still do clean.
Just asking. That is something
I was at a church.
Listen, God made the curse words. God made all the words. The Bible said nigga somewhere in there. If Jesus, all right, they done made the white man's Bible and they took it out, but the original black man's Bible. Jesus was getting hay like, y'all niggas gonna do this to me. All right.
But I was with the A on the end, not the ER, right?
But that's a good skill though, to have like the clean version of your set and then the raunchy version.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit. How like you working clean. I feel like first of all, I think that's much harder to do. And to be good at what you're. You know what I mean? Like anybody, I tell jokes, I tell stories, I curse when I need to. You know what I mean? I'm still at that point of it. I have a couple clean jokes, but like 45 minutes clean, I'll be like, all right, man, woof.
That's pain.
What is cussing really? You know what I mean? But do you feel like you being clean has like made your path of comedy to where you are today easier or harder?
It's just because I started in church and that's what I'm doing. That's just what I knew. So I never wanted to change it. Plus, I go to church. I lead praise and worship. I never wanted to have the mic and forget where I was.
Yeah.
You know, forget I'm at church. Hey, you mother. You know, like I didn't want to ever have that experience. I was like, God, I will not embarrass you in this area, right? So that was just my thing.
I appreciate you coming here. She was actually at church today. We recorded this on a Sunday.
You know, it's all good. I wasn't sure. I'm honored that you asked. I was like, what, me?
Yeah. I asked her what time she was going to be available. She talking about, oh, yeah, we be done by 10:30. I went, you go to white church?
White church? I'm like, no.
She definitely left her white church to come here on. She was on time. She beat everybody else. But so
he did ask me, you got a white church? Absolutely.
Yeah, I was so serious. You said 10:30.
Right.
Yeah, so working in like churches and stuff like that. How did you get into like the comedy circuit from like church comedy? How did you get into?
I think one of the first things I did, I came to the and again trying to look when I started really kind of figuring things out and learning stuff. I was the only thing I knew, I looked up like Jacksonville and I saw that Comedy Zone had a class.
Yeah.
I didn't know of any other mics. I didn't know any other I didn't know any of that. So I went there, but by that time I was already 3 years in.
Yeah.
But again, I was strictly doing church. So I came here and from that I was able to meet people and get to do, regular shows.
This is 2013?
2013, maybe 2014 or something like that. Yeah.
All
I can't even remember. Yeah.
So
I guess it has been. Jesus Christ.
That class. Oh, I mean, I wasn't gonna say it, but I was actually in middle school that year. I was, I think I was leaving.
Do y'all
Kirby
feel the
Smith.
disrespect?
Hit him.
Do y'all
Hit
feel
him.
it? Wow.
Yeah, I was watching comedy then, but I wasn't even thinking about being a comedian. So it's so wild that like you were. Like your story of like, man, you're in it, and I'm like not even knowing that world exists at the time.
But I didn't even start it till I was 29 when I did my first show.
That's crazy.
It's less than a month from my 30th birthday. That was when I did my first show.
That's wild. I usually feel like I started mad late. My first show was 19. Mikey B, do you have any questions? I know that y'all did a show together a couple months ago.
Yeah, so her talking about her doing clean. We the first time we met was for a lawyer's private event. He's also a comic. Like,
it was
Mike
a fundraiser,
Freed.
yes.
Yeah,
Hey, Mike.
he's the man. Like that skinny turtle looking motherfucker.
Yo, shout out to Mike Freed.
Shout out to Mike Freed and all his sweater vests. Appreciate you. But Mike was like, yeah, like, make sure it's like clean enough. And like, I was like, oh, okay. So then I threw out a couple shits, like a couple fucks, whatever. And then like, Jen gets on stage. I was like, oh, clean. Oh, no. All right. This is my one and only private event. But I
think they loved it, right?
It's funny. They had fun.
The corporate events, they really want to cut loose.
Yeah.
They really do. But
Really?
it's like, my boss is over here, so I can't get super wasted. But they want to hear it.
Well, that's the best part is the second I started pointing at somebody, everybody was like, yeah. Because at work, you can't clown the other people if it's like super corporate.
Yeah.
So like the second, like I was like, yeah, what the hell's going on with you? And then everybody was like, what is going on with you? Freaking Ted. You and your gobble turkey looking neck. What are you doing? Like it was like, yeah, all right. Like, yeah, exactly. I'm in the pocket just like giving him jab shots and everybody's like, yeah. Like, it was tight. It was good. But Jen crushed it then. She crushed it now. I mean, geez.
Thank you.
Also, she had, I don't know if you knew this, she had a headliner weekend at Madcaps too.
How was that? That was amazing.
Let me
give you a round of applause. Heck yeah.
That was my first weekend comedy club headlining, and it was absolutely amazing.
Nice.
My sister and
Madcaps Comedy Club is New Smyrna Beach, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. Adam Lowry runs that room.
He's a comic too.
So that was this year?
Yes, that was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Literally a couple of weeks ago, 2-3 weeks. The 20th, May 20th and 21st. That's what it was.
You've been going off lately.
It's been bananas.
It's deserving though. Like I don't know. Like I said, when I saw your material, I literally was like, oh my god, I've never been this funny. Like I texted our group chat with Mikey B for the show. You coming on stage, it was a 2-man show here at the club this week. So Jen was coming out cold, you know what I mean? Like it was me and Kiwi over there in the DJ booth, but she was the first person up. So being that first person, and you're the first person to do 20, like you're just coming out to start the show. Like crushed it. I hate Mikey. Now I'm talking just like him.
Just
I never
mad
say that.
Murdered, son.
I don't like talking like that. I don't like talking like that at all.
She tore it up, dude. I was about to say, sub me in.
But yeah, Jenn coming out and then David, like that was one of the funniest, like most intimate, like live shows that I've seen here. And I didn't know. So we actually just met this week, which is crazy.
Absolutely.
Like
before the show, Thursday.
You and Mikey had met before, but I was literally like, oh my God, who is this? And where has she been? Like, how have we not crossed paths in so long? You know what I mean? But
because I be in the house. I be in the house.
She'd be like, I do not rock with these fools out here.
It ain't even that. I'm like, Jenn is Jennifer. I'm an introvert. I'm in the house.
Yeah.
Like my best friend, she has a group of friends that she goes to hang with because she know I'm not coming outside. Yeah. I'm just, I don't know. Like
that's Mikey in our friend group. Mikey's the one who's like we're like, hey, let's all hang out, and then Mikey's like, we're at the beach bars, and all of us are like, we don't want to do all that now. I'm a 3-4 gathering kind of person.
Yeah, I don't do it.
By the way, he's citing one text thread, a singular text thread, and he's like, Mikey is always like that. I am, but you don't have the data yet to confirm that.
He's always where the action is. I'm telling you. But it's interesting. Like I think most of us, like most people who I know, are kind of like that. Like people have asked me on stage, I'm like, all right, let's get it. We here, you know what I mean? But then I get off, and I'm introverted. I feel I'm introverted. I like to be by myself. I like silence. You're like that as well?
Absolutely.
Because when I see you in a show, you got the energy. You ready. You engage with everybody.
Yeah, but usually, before show, I talked to you, but then I went missing. I was backstage, like, well, ain't nobody yet. And it's hard for me because by the second show, the 10 o'clock show, like, I ain't care about selling no merchandise. Jennifer was coming out. Like, Jenn was asleep. Like, Jennifer was like, let's go home. Like, whatever. So I have to try to stay all the time. But when talking about being out and about, you haven't seen, and that's something I really need to work on. Like, I found other ways to open mic.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean by that?
I have friends. I have other comics. We run. There's a comic I have, Endo Jones. He's out of Atlanta right now, but he's from Fort Lauderdale. We run jokes on call out of nowhere. I could be asleep. And he's straight running a bit instantly. That's what we do. Or I'll just be in full conversation with somebody I know, and I'm running a bit just to see how it goes. Let me try with this.
Do you tell them that, or you just set it up and let it roll?
I just start rolling.
Okay.
And just to see how they're gonna react.
Yeah.
Like, girl, what are you talking? What? So in my mind, okay, now check this. But I hate open mic.
So how many times do you have to do that and like run it by in a conversation before you're like, okay, I'll take this to the stage? Because with me, we do open mics. I still probably would do a joke like maybe 10, 15 times before I come here and I try it, because then I'm still on the stage of like, I don't know if I can work out here. I gotta be funny here. You know what I mean? I gotta.
But like that's even during, I worked in some stuff and I was like, we'll see. But I forgot to record it. But I worked in like, let me just see what it. Okay, I don't need to present it this way. Yeah, it was something I had, and I was like, I don't need to present it this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't give it away. Your joke when you're like when you're like, her truth, the truth. I was laughing so hard. Oh my! I was literally crying. The one about your sister, when you like, her truth is she got a roommate.
Right. I'm telling you, living in my truth. I don't even know where that came from. Like, I don't know where. And I was like, you know what? But people do that all the time.
Yeah. How's
y'all be lying?
Yeah, absolutely. How's your family about you doing comedy? How do they work into that? Because you do have material about your family growing up and all that.
They cool with it, but my family stays in Alabama, so they haven't seen a lot of me perform.
Wow.
I had a show in Pensacola, and that was the closest. And that was the first show my mom had come to in probably about 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
She came to the show I did, I guess in 2010, and she was living here at the time, then 2012. And then when she moved back to Alabama, she hadn't seen a show in ages.
So how does that feel for you? Like having them in the crowd is different?
Cool. I was like, in my mind, I was like, wait, have I said something crazy about them? Am I going? And I'm just like, it's gonna roll. It's certain stuff that I won't say,
Yeah.
But my grandma would be like, don't talk about me. No, grandma never. Let me tell you about my grandma. Like, as soon as I get on stage.
Yeah. I think like for me, like sometimes like right now I don't invite my family to the shows, and I don't invite like if there's like a girl or whatever, like I'm like don't come, because like I don't know, that is different for me. If I have them in the crowd, I'm still young in it, so when I'm just now doing material about that part of my life where I'm like, if you see this, I don't really want to I don't know how we're gonna deal with that outside. Did you go through that at all, or you were like, no, I'm gonna talk about you?
My friends know. If you friends with me, there might be a joke about you.
Okay.
You know. But I honestly have not done any jokes about them. But I have them sit in the back of my holster. I'm like, y'all know I got jokes about y'all. Like, you know this, right?
Yeah.
So, but I haven't. I've done a relationship one before. I don't think they probably know, because by the time I did the joke, we were exes. But I do a joke about a dude I date that stayed out of town in Atlanta, and he broke up with me in a text message.
Wow.
And I was like, you're not gonna end our whole relationship with your thumbs. And it was a true story. Like, I drove to his house.
Yes. All right, dude. I was
like,
really
literally knocked on the door. He's like 6'3", 280 pounds. He opened the door, and I've never seen a grown man look so scared. He was like, "What are you doing here?" And
Did you tell him you were coming? Or you just
because that's a 5-hour drive. Like, that's the thing. He ended it, and he was like, "Cool." And then you came out.
So I was supposed to go. Actually, he lived in. I say in the joke that it's Atlanta, but he actually stayed in Columbia, South Carolina.
Yeah.
And so it was 4 hours. But I was supposed to come there that weekend anyway. He sent me a text on a Wednesday. I'll never forget. So I'm texting him back like, what? He wouldn't answer the phone. He wouldn't respond to a text message. And it was so funny. I went to my best friend's house. I was talking to her and her husband. He was like, give him his space. He just needs some time. I was like, you know what? You're right. As soon as he walked out the room, my best friend looked at me and was like, you want to ride? Absolutely. And then we took her husband's car and drove up there. I was like, this is my rider right here.
She's the real one.
No.
She's the real one. What'd you say, Kivia?
I said men don't know nothing.
Oh my God.
That's my best friend.
So it was so funny. He opens the door like, what are you doing here? And just as smooth, I was like, you didn't answer the phone. Like, there was other ways I could have tried to get in contact with him. Like, you drove 4 hours through 2 states to get here, ma'am. You're crazy. A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But be like, you left your Q-tip.
Right.
Oh my God.
Right. You left your T-shirt. Right. So, but so I do add in a little bit.
Yeah, a little pizzazz.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of have to, as far as I mean.
Wait, that's funny though in that story, because that's the reason why he was that scared too is that crazy action, calm speak is the most terrifying combination.
Right, like,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
And I remember one of my male friends lives in California. He was like, Jennifer, you shouldn't go. I was like, oh, I'm going. He was like everything. He was like, everything about this is a bad idea. I was like, you're probably right. But there was nothing in me that was scared, that was nervous. There was nothing like, this is going to go bad.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You just want answers.
Full speed ahead. Let's go. Like,
so what happened with the situation? Did the door open and did you scare him back into place?
No, we talked.
Scared him back into the relationship.
Like, and you know, it was like, hey, I'm not coming back up here to get with you. Like, no, I need to understand. Like, you want to answer the phone? Like, he was like, I'm going off to, become the man I want to be or some crap, And I was like, what does that mean? Like, all right, I was like, are you joining Al-Qaeda? Like, what are you doing? Boy Scouts? Like, I was like, what does that mean, sir? I need to come check you out. Like, are you about to jump off a bridge? Like, what are you doing?
How old was this man? He said, becoming the man I want to be.
Right. Gosh, he was older than me. He was in his 30s.
Oh, man, you're supposed to been that.
So, I was just like, all right. So we was cool then. He was like, well, let me know when you get back home. And I was like, oh, no, we cool. We ain't got to talk. So we talked for a little bit more, and then after that, it just kind of fizzled out. So.
Yeah.
And by that time, I was like, all right, cool, whatever.
He probably did everything. He probably looked out the window for days after you left that man's house.
Nervous, right?
So who were some of your comedy inspirations? I don't know if it's different because you started in church and you started in a non-traditional way, but for like me, I watched comedy and then I was like, oh my God, I want to go try this. You know what I mean? Like, who would that have been for you?
I didn't watch comedy like that until I probably started doing comedy. But I would watch like Def Comedy Jam back in the day.
Yeah, I love, shout out.
Mac.
So I love Def Comedy Jam. Some of those comedians I mentioned around like our friends today, and they have no idea who I'm talking about.
Dude, I still have my VHS box.
Yo, yes.
Season 1.
Wait,
my first.
Absolutely.
Wait, she's ad-libbing everything you said. I know you can hear it, but
so
you literally, they don't know
older than me.
anybody from Def Jam. Shame.
I brought up names. I brought up old TV shows like Bernie Mac show. I brought up Jamie Foxx show. I brought up all those old shows that those comedians had, and they had no idea what I was talking about. So I love that that's what you went with. What did you like about Def Comedy Jam?
Listen, you had to be on point or they would boo you off. My thing was you had to have balls to go up on that stage.
Yeah.
And then I love that when they laugh, like that audience laugh with their whole body.
Yes.
Like when they like you can get hurt.
Those are the good
Get
laughs.
up and run out the club.
It was they was up, running, all type of stuff. I love that it was men, it was women, it was young, old. That's the thing I like about comedy. if you find your niche, is it niche? Somebody told me it was niche.
It's whatever.
Yo, niche.
Nah, that's the one that's wrong. That's the one that we're not gonna allow. Should have put some gym for some niche.
Right.
Sounds like
it don't matter. I mean, I know people who do stuff strictly for like retirement homes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you find your lane, it doesn't matter your age.
Yeah.
Like
that's the weirdest thing for me. Like I'll do when I do get shows here. Like there's young people who come out to these shows, and I'm like, oh, these people are gonna like me. And then after the show, we talk and we get to know each other. But I get off stage, and then there's like whenever when headliners leave, everybody lines up to wait to see what's going on. I was just standing out there about to go home, and older folk, Bobby Brown, wait, turn around, man, you were world funny, blah 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 blah. I love you, man. I'm like, oh my god, like. These people are connected with me too. I think that the weird, and it's cool, just the different lanes that you can get into just from being like who you actually are. Everybody can gravitate to that.
Absolutely.
Gotta be genuine.
But yeah, you're I forgot what. The people who you watched early on in comedy.
It was definitely. I loved Bernie Mac. I liked.
R.I.P. Bernie Mac, one of the greatest.
Yeah, he absolutely. Somebody asked me if I could do a show with anybody dead or alive. I was like Bernie Mac.
That's a good choice.
I'd love to meet him.
You were talking about your VHS thing. My first time watching comedy, I had the VHS tape of Kings of Comedy. So that was the one with Bernie Mac, Steve, DL said. That was the first comedy I watched.
Samore. I like that Samore is in her own lane doing her thing. Like, you don't really see her at clubs. She's doing arenas. Like, she's in her own lane. And I love that. I'll come like, I got on some jeans and a shirt. Samore is the show. Like, she is dressed to the nines. Like,
don't even do that. You popped out this weekend. Talk about wearing jeans. You did. You popped out.
I had on my little Sunday school teacher dress. But it was I like them. And even now, those are people I looked at now. But like people like Just Niche, Takara Williams, like.
Just Niche was here at the Comedy Zone a couple months ago. She was with Leonard Oots and Vincent and Brian and all them.
Yes, and I was supposed to come, but they ended up canceling the last show because there was Damon Williams was here.
Yes.
So I went to see him, and I was going to leave after that and come, but they canceled it. Yeah. But he ended up giving me stage time. So
hey, let's go.
He's like, you want to get on stage? I was like, sir, it's your show. He was like, girl, come on. All right.
Do you have 12 years in now, you're featuring, you're headlining your own weekends. Do you have something in your brand or like, okay, this is what I need to do for myself coming forward, or like anything that you're working on?
You know what? Because people ask me, what's your end game? And I was like, I have no clue. Which kind of...
That's what I tell him. That's why I try not to ask what's your end game, but like, what do you want to go to? What are you trying?
And that's good because I'm like, I don't want to just be taking shows, just be taking shows.
Yeah.
Like, what is the goal? Where are you going to?
Yeah. Just where are you going next? What you trying next?
I don't know. I do have a show coming up September 3rd.
It's
called the Jenn Weeks, One Woman and a Few Other People because I didn't want to do it by myself show. Literally, that's the name.
Yeah,
I said it to my friends. I was like, you stupid. I was like, no, that's it.
You created an acronym or are you putting that all on the title?
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely applied. Like the Jenn Weeks, One Woman in parentheses and a few other people because I didn't want to do it all by myself. And then in bold print show.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what the flyer looks like.
Where is this going to be at?
It's going to be at the Salem Center here in Jacksonville.
Nice.
So I have...
that was the applause. That was the applause.
Applause break.
Yes, yeah. I mean, that's a big deal right there. You put your own shows around and going on.
Yeah, so it's going to be stand-up, but I have somebody's going to do a little musical comedy. I have some sketches that I wrote that I have.
Tell them your theory on what a sketch versus a skit.
See, I asked before because I remember a comedian said, well, it's a sketch. So I was like, and in my mind I was like, so skit is what black people say, right? So I thought skits was churchy. So I remember being at church, somebody's like, you want to do a skit? It's a sketch. It's me, right? Now at this point, it's a sketch, okay? That's what we calling it. But so I'm gonna have some of those in there, do little voiceovers, make little infomercials, then do some. We'll have some live stand up. I just want to kind of mix it up. I'm not doing any improv. I'm not really good with that.
Yeah,
so.
I got into comedy I was doing sketch improv at Florida State. It was like a troupe called 30 and 60. We used to just go up and make sketches together. But I did that for about a year, and then from there I went to stand up, and then I've been there ever since.
I would love to do more improv and learn about it a little more.
I have a plan. I was telling Mikey, and I told you about this a little earlier, man. I have a plan for some stuff that I want to shoot in the future and some ideas.
You sound like a politician. I have a plan.
Exactly.
Listen. My plans have nothing to do. My plans got nothing to do with them gas prices.
Okay, well, we don't want to hear it.
More laughs per minute, funnier than anybody else. What is the point? It's to be funny. Yeah, so what's the show about? We're going to do it. It's going to be a show, and you're going to see it.
Hey, that would sell, though.
JFK and BBJ. Do you like the two politicians?
Jesus Christ. Why would you put me with that one?
I don't know.
You could have picked the rest of them. So September 3rd, are me and Mikey invited? Can we come out and
Absolutely.
All right, heck yeah, nice.
All right, cool.
Yes,
I didn't keep it. You got to stay somewhere else, wherever you're not.
She's like, oh, I'm coming.
Yeah, she's like, you can't bar me from it.
It's gonna be at the Salem Center. It's not too far from here. JTB and Phillips. Yeah.
Girl, we can't. She was talking straightforward to us, like we can hear them. Like, no, it's fine. Mikey B, do you have any questions? Do you have anything? What did you say? This man. I was trying to think. You put me on the spot for a split second. I can keep talking.
As it comes up.
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess it's just like with the balancing church and like the actual stage kind of. Are there bits that you won't do in church that you'll do on stage? You know what I mean? And like which ones are like
and
the
it's not even
ones?
It's more of suggestive. I do a joke about and I actually did it. We had a women's tea and my pastor's wife was like, no, I like that joke, do it. It's a joke I do about the gynecologist. And it was so funny.
Never mind.
All of the women could relate. Like I had older women coming up to me. She was like, oh my God, I hate my gynecologist. Like she was like, last time I went, they was like, do you want your husband in the room? She was like, it's enough people looking at me. He ain't gotta come in here too. Like so it was like so relatable. So that one I have a joke about being a stripper. So you know, if you say stripper at church, they're like, wait, and I'm like, I did it before, but I was like, stick with me.
That's what I was hoping for. It's like Jesus looking down, and you're like, be really.
Right.
Like, yes, dude.
So there are a couple.
Jesus did one specific stripper. An entertainer. She was an entertainer. Mary Mag.
This man.
And then he the short named Mary Mag.
Mary Mag.
That was her stage name.
That's crazy.
Shortened it to
that's crazy.
Coming to stage. Like.
I had no idea. But no, for me, I do clean, but there's certain stuff that I want. Like for instance, the gynecologist joke when I say, get on the scale, you should be a little more concerned with my cat, not my fat.
Yeah.
That's a
great part at church. You know what I mean?
I just remember. Yeah, I was sitting over at the bar when you said that tag, and I don't remember if you did it at that private event, but I was like, that tag is so good.
Listen, when you the Friday night show when you did that joke, there was a lady sitting right there, like 72. She went crazy. She like slapped her husband on the arm or whatever that meant. Like she was dying. Yeah. That was a great joke. You're writing, like, what have you? So the show is called The Writer's Block. You know what I mean? Like, so have you ever, experienced that? Like, had you gone through a period where you're like, oh my God, like, what am I trying to say? What's trying to come out of here? I don't have anything. If 3 weeks, maybe a month go by and I haven't written anything, I get triggered. Oh God, I'm a hack. Oh my God, I'm like, I get like, oh my God. Yeah. I wouldn't do a reference for New Jack City, but y'all young, y'all wouldn't. I would have got it. I would have pretended from New Jack City, like, looking dope fiendish. Yeah. But I literally, if I haven't wrote in a while, but I've had those moments, and it's like, okay, clear your mind. What like, I have to go somewhere or something. Go to the beach, something like. I'll go sit somewhere where I can look around. I was like, people watch. Yeah. I was like, people are hilarious. Find something. You know what I mean? So I'll do that. But absolutely. I have premises all the time. Sometimes I go back and write more. Sometimes it's some stuff I got on my phone. Liz, you got your phone. You got your writing book. 12 notebooks. Yeah. So it's like, damn, I forgot I had that in there. You can go back and so it's sometimes I'll do have a show like we're revamping this time. Like we can look through material I ain't did in years. Like. Yeah. Yeah. So you do that? I have a hard time sometimes, like because I look at my old material and I'm much better now. Yes. So when I look at it, I'm like, let me just make something come out. You know what I mean? Like, but now I'm getting like when you watch your old videos or listen to your old jokes, how far can you get through it? Like how far? Cause I hate watching myself. I do too. I'll do the audio. Like sometimes I record myself audio, but I won't listen to it the night of. Especially if I had a good show, I won't listen to it the night of. Because I'm already hyped up like, I killed it. So I listen, it ain't going to be good. I listen 3 days later like, why did they laugh at this? Yeah, it's crazy that we feel that, like we all feel that. Like it's wild that you're still going through that 12 years in.
Man, it never stops. You always want to continue, getting better and finding it took me a while to find my voice. Because I was like, I have this thing. I was like, I don't want to be, I'm a big girl and I have a big personality. I was like, my mouth can't be big too. Like, I want to bring it in. But I yell. That's one of my greatest attributes. I'm a yeller. So like, that's what we're doing on stage. Like, you're just going to have to take it.
Yeah. I respect that so much. A lot of the comedians that we meet talk about, finding who you are and how you know when it's a thing. I feel like were you actively searching for it, or one day you were just like, oh, this is me, like I'm just gonna do that? Or were you looking like, okay, what is?
Yeah, kind of, especially starting to, you start watching comedy more and like, well, have y'all ever like watched a comedian or watched something and it was the last thing you watched before you did a show and you find yourself doing their mannerisms? I was like, be in the middle of yourself like, oh God, what? Why is my voice like this? What are you doing?
I started comedy watching like Chappelle. So my first 6 months, I was doing jokes in Tallahassee. People were laughing at me. It was my own original stuff. But then one of my homeboys was like, hey, bro, you got to stop watching Dave Chappelle. Like, and I respected that advice so much.
Yeah.
Said it to me on the side. I looked at myself. I was like, oh, my God, he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
So you're just like saying skeet, skeet, skeet every 2 seconds?
That would be Lil Jon. Okay. But thank you. I appreciate it. I thought it was a good jab.
I cannot.
But yeah, so like you still like you had that a little bit and had to figure it out.
Because I would get on stage and I would almost do these rants. But it was just like, so, from my perspective, and I was just like, darn, I don't want that to be my voice.
Yeah.
But that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what works, and that's what we're going to do. So,
yeah.
I was like, here we are.
This is it. This is me.
Right. And I had to get to that. I remember my first feature was in Joker's Comedy Club in Augusta, and I just hated it. And the headliner was like, you care too much.
Like you hated the material?
The show because it was a small crowd. So the first crowd was cool, and then the second crowd was like 5 people there.
Okay.
So I go up and I'm doing I have my 30-minute feature set.
Yeah.
But I didn't connect with the audience. I just got up and just did my jokes like I was doing an Easter speech. Nobody like they were somewhere else. Nobody laughed. They were all over the place. They were bored. They clapped because it's only 5 of us. It'd be rude. She can tell. She'll know we're not clapping. But the headliner gets up and crushes with 5 people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how?
Yeah.
And he was like, you care. Like, we were in Augusta, Georgia. I got in my car Saturday morning and I just drove. I was like, I need to get away. I drove to Aiken, South Carolina. Why? Why? There was a lady I met there. She was like, I live here and I don't want to be here. Why would you come here, ma'am? She was like, what are you doing? Like, I was just like, I just need to get away. And he was like, you care too much. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, have fun. He was like, and once I started doing it, and I care less.
Yeah.
Like, are they gonna like it?
Yeah.
The thing is, it's your gift. You have a gift. Somebody gonna like it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the gift. Like, you ain't gonna have a gift and it's for no use. Just no.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna like it. Everybody ain't gonna be for you, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah. It's crazy that you said that because like it really is like that simple, but it's like having fun can change everything that we're doing up here. Like, I started having fun again. Like, I'll literally tweet it. Sometimes I'll go through ruts of comedy where I'm like, this isn't. I'm not, like, what is going on? Like, I'm making myself go to these shows I'm not getting paid for. I got a flat tire on my way to a show that I wasn't getting paid for. And by the time she called me on stage, everybody in the bar went home. And then as soon as I got off stage, more people walked in. It was like 10 people walked in and showed up for the show. I was the only one. I drove home, got a flat tire. I was like, what am I doing with this, man? This is bullshit. But having fun, like that was you just got to bring that back. It's not supposed to be all work.
I've had sets where, and I've told them, I was like, I don't know if y'all enjoy it, but I have had a ball. Like, I don't care. Like, and I've had a ball on stage, and I could care less. You know what I mean? So you want to connect with the audience, but you gotta have fun.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be up here stressed out worrying about these people I don't know and probably ain't gonna never see again.
Yeah, pretty much. Do you have, before we got out here, do you have like to this day, like, your prize moment, your proudest moment of yourself so far and what you've done in your career? Where you were like, man, I outdid myself.
One of my best, I did a show, Spunky Robinson. He's out of Miami, but he lives in Orlando. He had a room in Daytona pre-pandemic. And it was an urban room, so I was a little nervous. I was like, like I'm hood, but I'm more hood adjacent. Yeah. I'm hood-ish. I was like, I don't know.
You hear how I talk. I be nervous as shit going into black
certain areas of town. I ain't going on. Well, I know all black. I ain't going out east. Not by myself. I don't know nobody out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was just like,
I do those shows. I can see people's face, and they definitely are like, why is he talking like that?
Yeah,
like,
but this is who I am, right?
Yeah.
So, and I did that show and got a standing ovation. And I was like, I could quit comedy right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was one. And then Brent Morin, he had a show called Undateable on NBC. Him and his feature was, I can see his face. He has a twin brother. He sings really good. Oh, I got his number in my phone. Anyway, I can't remember.
Okay.
But did a show with them, and they let me come on stage. He had a keyboard. They was playing stuff. We just went back and forth, riffed, made up songs, all kind of crap. We had a ball on stage. That was one of my greatest. So.
That's good. What was his name again?
Brent Morin.
Okay.
And Jason Collins, that's the feature.
Jason Collins?
Yes.
Okay.
Jason tours with Russell Peters as well.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Cool. Super cool.
Okay, so all right. So with that being said, but first of all, your social media. You want to tell people where your social media is at?
Yes, Jenn Weeks, JE2Ns, Weeks, like weeks on a calendar. Like if I ever had a daughter, her name would be Days and Weeks. Follow me online, not in real life. Yes, my website, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Jenn Weeks.
I'm wearing that shirt. We didn't even talk about it. Follow me online and not real. How did you like? We can't even leave without talking about it. Tell me about that.
Literally, because Comedy Zone is my home club, so we do shows, and I'm like, hey guys, follow me. And it used to be like they would have crews coming in town, doing construction and stuff, and there was some dudes. Hey, you said follow you, like literally after the show. I was like, y'all don't care, y'all behind y'all room. So that's where the online came from. Like, let me be more specific. Y'all remember a couple of dudes? Well, where we going? We ain't going nowhere. So I literally started adding to that. I made it part of a joke at the end of my set.
Yeah.
Like, follow me online, not in real life, because I had to say that for real. Like, I left the show and there was 3 dudes follow me. They was like, well, you said follow you. What we doing? Not me. That's what we not gonna do.
So funny.
But
Jenn Weeks, everybody. So do you post clips at all? We were just talking about that a little second ago. Do you post clips or do you post lives or do you do anything on social media? Because like I was talking to him, we talk all the time
you do
about
sketches or what's going on with that?
I sketch from time to time. I do post. I had my set recorded a couple of months ago, so I'll take little pieces of that and record it. Or if I'm somewhere and somebody records it, so I have little stuff I post. I do. My TikTok has blown up out of nowhere. So
Girl, what's your TikTok? I don't even follow you yet.
Jenn Weeks.
All right, I had to get you back on there.
Jenn Weeks comedy. And it started from something random. I was like leaving a voicemail for like my friend or something.
Yeah.
So I done went from that to leaving a voicemail for a therapist, people requesting stuff, leaving voicemails for your mama or whatever. So that just blew up out of nowhere. But I post stuff on there. I'm working on consistency. I have commitment issues.
I feel that.
But because I started this thing called Listen. I've been listen, and then I go into whatever. But I haven't done that in a while. So
honestly, that's nice. That's fun. Jenn, I appreciate you doing this podcast. Thank you for coming on the Writer's Block.
This is really dope.
Thank you. I
How long have
appreciate
you been
it.
doing this?
I've been doing this for 2 years now, and I've been doing like in this fashion, like my partnership with the Zone for probably about going on a year.
Really?
It'll be a year in September.
What you say?
So I started. Ali Sadiq. Vincent Bryant was my very first guest. So
I've seen him too.
Before he blew up and went crazy, we were friends on Twitter. I used to talk back and forth with him. They were in town, and we didn't even do it in here. The club had no idea who I was. He was supposed to come to my house and do it at the home studio, but he was on crutches at the time when he was doing that. So I packed up all my stuff, and we did it in that lobby right over there, like that first room.
Yeah.
I'm talking like the man who be playing music, and he got the guitar in the first whole half of the interview. Back down, the man, we out there. Like while I'm trying to talk to this man, listen, I was like, and the club saw the interview that I did and the clips that I made with him. Nice. And we started partnering, and then Ali Sadiq was the first one to actually, do the show up here, and we got to chat, and then he brought me on stage, and that was my entrance into this place.
Nice.
Because I'm from here, but I didn't know this existed until I got back from college.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
But
cool. Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, it's been different. It's been changing along.
Like it.
Mikey's been coming along to help me out and do the show. And then we got Kivia over there. This is her first day. Kivia. But me and Kivia are going to go to the top. We have some plans that we've been working on. It's going to be great.
I'm going to bring them all up.
I love you so much, Jen. I appreciate you doing this show.
Thank you. And I have to say thank you for this weekend. Like, listen, I don't care what I needed. Bobby was right there. You need anything, you good, you straight, you da-da-da. I was like, oh, I need to set up my merch. I'll get you a table. Like, next time, they pulled a table out of the lounge. Like, you know what? I don't like the way it look. Let me wipe it off. Like, he went to try to find me a tablecloth. Like, I don't care. You thirsty? You good? Your mouth parched? How's your pressure? Like, how you not got high blood pressure?
It's funny because he's all smiles like right here, but then like you get him off and he's literally like, yo, I'm about to go outside. I'm gonna like go say hi to these people. Then I'm gonna move over here, and then you move fast.
But he comes like, out of nowhere. Like I can be sitting there, and next thing Bobby's right here. You need anything? So you need to put a bell on or something now.
Yeah. Bobby's got an active stride.
You know
I'm just trying to get the work done. I'm trying.
He walks like the seniors in the silver sneakers. They just be going.
Oh my
God. The ones that walk around the mall. Like that is the stride he has.
Like, it's quiet as a hybrid.
I just be trying to make sure everything goes well, man. I want to do what I can to.
I really appreciate it.
And don't get wrong, it's also for selfish reasons. I'm not doing it for everybody. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to pay attention to what's going on and what I can do with it.
Yeah, if you had said no to the podcast, he would have ghosted your ass.
Like, forget it. She wasn't that funny. No.
But no, man.
Your comedy's weak.
Right. We got open mic coming out. Everybody's welcome except Jenn Weeks. Right?
Exactly.
I feel attacked.
I'm glad you said that. Guys, I forgot. Before I forget, Wednesday nights, I'm out in the lobby over here. We set up open mic comedy here at the Comedy Zone every single Wednesday. It's a free comedy show. All right. And then every different Wednesday, whatever, they have a show going on inside. Stop by mine first.
So
and then,
it's comedy everywhere.
It is. It is. We're running around. But Jenn Weeks, you have some. You said September 3rd. Do you have any other dates that you want to get out and let people know?
LOL Film Festival, LOL Jack's Film Festival. It is a all comedy short film festival that is going on August, I think, 6th and 7th. You can look it up at WJCT Studios. This is year 6, I believe, and I've been the host every time.
Nice. Congratulations.
And Monique Madrid, they're also over the 48-hour film project. They're the creators of this, and they are the creators, the president or CEO of Argyle Forest Films as well. So they put it on. So if you are a comedian, they're actually you could submit a 2 to 5 minute video, and we're going to have a feature comedian. I'm going to host, but we're going to bring out a feature comedian each day, each night of the show.
You got to submit, Mikey?
So
Sure,
you'll have it's somewhere in between 7 and 10 minutes. You'll have a 7 to 10 minute set.
Okay, cool.
And it doesn't have to be clean either.
Oh, nice.
It does not.
She made note.
Jenn Weeks, everybody. You can follow me on Instagram at @MaybeBobby. This episode's going to be out on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, the Writer's Block podcast. You got to type Bobby Brown Jr. because there's more famous Bobby Browns than me already.
You don't say.
Yeah, we're going to change that, though. It's all right. I'm going to break it down a little bit. Mikey B, what's your socials?
Mikey B on the beat on Instagram, Mikey Beat on TikTok, and that's it.
I'm also back on the Talk app. Maybe Bobby Comedy on there, too. I was rebelling at first, but, I got to do it. I had to break in. Kivia, where you at?
Instagram.
Nice. She'll be posting.